and I think that's pathetic and it's bullshit. And I honestly don't think you deserve any of the accolades that you're getting. What's going on, nation, and welcome back to INSTA-GAHHHBAGE. I got 3 more videos for you guys today. Before we jump into that, let's have a little serious moment because I just want to take some time and thank all of you for your continued support over the years. I feel like I don't do it enough. And guys, we average about 5 million video views a month, which means you're constantly coming back to learn more information from me. And it means a lot. It means a lot to me to not just have your support, but to know that you feel confident that the information I'm giving you is going to help you. And that's why this series honestly is dedicated to you guys. You guys hit me up on DMs on Instagram. You send me videos where you're not sure if the information is good or if it's going to help you or hurt you. And then you leave it up to me to make the decision. And that's a big responsibility, and I'm honored to have it. So thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart for supporting me. And I promise to keep making these videos and making them as fun as I can. But let's just make sure that we keep up with the same pattern, okay? Anybody we talk about, we're not cyberbullying. We're leaving constructive criticism only. And I'm very proud of all of you because I really ripped apart Grow with Joe. And you guys went to her video, but you left things that were more constructive criticism. You weren't mean, and that's what this is all about. And just a quick recap for episode 1. Grow with Joe did leave a comment on my video. You guys can read it. It's still there. We went back and forth a couple times. We just weren't connecting. You'll have to read it yourself. Cameron Chase DM'd me on Instagram, and he said, thank you so much for the constructive criticism and the honest input on the exercise. We actually chatted back and forth a little bit, talked about a possible collab in the future if we're ever in the same area together. So that was really cool. Cameron was a really nice guy. And then to address some of you guys leaving comments about Brad's tweet, a lot of you guys commented the same exact thing. You said, Scott, I think you just misunderstood what Brad meant. And maybe I should have made it more clear as to why I was calling out the tweet. I wasn't really necessarily calling out Brad in general. Obviously, he's done a lot for the fitness community, okay? The tweet itself, though, because it was left open to interpretation, that's why it was sent to me from several of you, because you didn't understand what it meant. And I guess I was maybe a little crazy from talking about Joe's stupid workout videos, that I went in a little too hard on that. But it was the tweet itself not being clear in what it meant, because there are must-do exercises and there are specific ways you should be training depending on what your goal is. So now that that's done, let's move on into episode 2. If you guys are enjoying the series, make sure you tap that like button. And the first video we're gonna talk about, I feel like, Ricky, I gotta put the link to this. If you guys, because I'm not gonna show the whole video. Like, this video came on one time late at night when I was sitting at my desk, and like, it was so creepy that I was like, what the hell is going on my computer right now? I was like playing on my phone, and it was like, do you want to build sculpted chest and make chiseled chest?
Made with 100% American steel, the Mech Sculptor is designed to directly isolate the muscles of the chest to stimulate growth and sear in definition.
So I was like, whoa. Okay, so we'll put the link down for you guys to check out, but this video right here, it's selling a product. And I'm like 99.9999% sure none of you would fall for this. This is like 80s style marketing. The device itself, it's called a Mech Sculptor, and it's basically this thing, you know, that you hold like this and you squeeze it back and forth. It's almost like that thing your mom had. That she used to squeeze her thighs together, but you use it for your chest. If anything, actually, that piece of equipment looks better put together than this, and you'll see in a second. But the guy on camera, he talks about how he's like competed and how he built a sculpted chest. And in the very beginning of the video, he's like, I know guys that can bench 200, 250, 300 pounds, but still can't sculpt their chest. I personally don't know too many guys. Like, even if you're a big power lifter, you still kind of have a big chest if you're benching all that weight with proper form. We won't get into that right now. He talks about how he knows tons and tons of these guys that can bench all this weight, but they can't seem to sculpt their chest. And I had yet to see any of those people in this video. He doesn't show any of their photos. He just says that he knows a ton of guys that can bench a lot, but don't have a sculpted chest. My favorite part of this clip is, instead of zooming in on him and letting him kind of talk, The picture's pulled back so you can see this like huge diploma on the wall, all right, which I think is hilarious. Office is a mess, couldn't even clean his office to do this video. But he basically says that the pec sculptor involves adducting the arm, so it's like having a cable machine anywhere you go. We all know that if you're trying to build a big chest and all you do is cables, you're not going to build a big sculpted chest. You have to overload, and you can overload a lot more when it comes to benching, whether it's barbell or dumbbells, versus doing a cable machine. This is the underlying what I teach in my Only 2 series on how to build a bigger chest. And then this guy, Chase Chaplin, master trainer, always had a hard time getting the chest that he wants. And then if he shows his before and after photos, he basically just goes from white to tan. There's no change in his chest. Like, it looks like he literally was white, and then he's not smiling, and then they'll like go tanning for a week, and then come back, and then we'll do your after photo, and we'll change the angle a little bit. Like, it's just so ridiculous. And the music is hilarious. And now he's on the street, and he's like, I found some super strong guys to try my product on the street.
1001. 1002. Oh, it's a deep burn. Oh, it's so deep.
This guy's like, anybody who does this with this machine, you're gonna feel your chest activate. Whether or not you're building muscle or sculpting, you're still sending blood to the area, okay? We all know that the pump doesn't equal muscle growth. You need muscle damage. We talk about the 3 muscle building mechanisms: mechanical tension, metabolic stress, muscle damage. Those things aren't happening here. Maybe you can overload with volume, but you're gonna have to squeeze this thing about 100 times to get enough volume for it to actually tire you out. And that's like, I guess another way to explain it is, a lot of you guys complain, you're like, I'm stuck in a plateau because all I can do is body weight and push-ups are too easy. That's what the equivalence is to this. So if you've been doing push-ups all the time and you're still not building that sculpted chest that you want, and it's not getting bigger, this isn't gonna do anything for you either. It's the same underlying principle. Oh yeah, he meets up with John Hansen, 3 times Mr. Universe, who doesn't really say a word, just kind of looks at it like, okay, I'm squeezing my chest. And the same exact resistance for Mr. Universe apparently is enough for his girlfriend to do the same exact thing. So, and it looks like she's squeezing it together better than he is. And then we get to the end here, and then this is where we're gonna end. We're gonna end this part because my favorite pose that guys do when they're trying too hard to show how muscular they are, all you have to do is look in the back right here, and if you see that shoulder blade sticking out, it's because they're rolling their shoulder and trying to push it forward so hard, and then you cross the arms like this to push the biceps up. Like you see it on the cover of Men's Health all the time whenever they have a celebrity who's not really in shape, but you want to, maybe he's in a hot movie and they want to put his workout program there. You'll always see the hands under biceps pushing out the biceps look like this. And he's basically doing the same thing, and he's rolling his shoulder and his shoulder blade sticking out. So it's like, this guy doesn't even really have an impressive chest whatsoever. And we all know that muscle definition and toning, obviously, if you're exercising, that's gonna help. A lot of it has to do with meal plan. If you wanna be leaner, you gotta get your meal plan under control. This will stimulate the area, but is it gonna build you that big chest in the amount of time? Like, for example, if you just went to the gym and started overloading a bit more with dumbbells or barbells on your bench press, no, it's not. So, like I said, I don't think any of you would ever fall for this. I feel like I only saw it because I have a big channel, as far as an ad on my channel, but you gotta keep in mind, YouTube is all over the world. Like, for example, I have a huge fan base in India, a lot of subscribers from India, and fitness is still relatively new there, and I feel like they haven't seen a lot of stuff like this, so people might buy it to try it, especially because a lot of people out there work out from home. So in America, I don't think it's really I'm gonna walk down the street and see anybody doing this on the beach in Florida, but other parts of the world where fitness is just still relatively new, maybe some people might fall for it. Next up is this Instagram page right here, Bree Baby. And as you'll soon find out after going here, every single thing on her page is all about this chick's butt, okay? And this was actually sent to me from someone who I met over the weekend when I was at Island of Adventure. I was actually leaving the park, and this girl ran up to me, and she's like, "Are you Scott Herman?" And I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh my God, my boyfriend's your biggest fan, but he's over there in line waiting for our pizza." And so I went over there and said hello, and we all started chatting, and we obviously started talking about fitness. And the girlfriend, they asked me not to show their photos or mention their names, but they said I could tell the story, so that's why I'm not showing their photos right now. But the girlfriend was telling me how when they first met that they would go to the gym together and work out, and she was doing this program that she paid like $100 for from Brie Baby, and it's all about building a big butt and building your glutes, which is 90% of the programs that these women on Instagram sell. They sell these butt programs. And then when she met her boyfriend, he took a look at the program because she was basically saying that it was way too much volume. She was tired all the time. Her gym workouts took forever. And the boyfriend was like, "Yeah, you're doing way too much." And then he actually sent her to my channel and sent her the only 2 exercises you need to build your glutes video, and her entire world changed. And so I said, "Listen, I do this series called Insta-GAHHHBAGE. Can you send me the workout program so I can take a look, and then send me Brie Baby's Instagram page?" And so she did, and here we are. Now, I don't want to give away Brie Baby's entire program because legally I can't, but so there's 2 workouts each week to focus on the butt, which, okay, I'll give it to you, Brie Baby. Yeah, if you want to increase any muscle that's lagging, you need to train it multiple times a week. But after looking at the entire program, it almost looked like she put together a list of as many exercises as she knew trained the butt, besides glute bridges with heavy weight, and then just kind of put them on the program and move them around so it kind of made sense, like overloading you with exercises to make you think that they're going to work. But if you take a look, I mean, to me, immediately, everything is 10 reps, 15 reps, 20 reps. Nothing is ever really low. Like, there's no heavy overloading. You guys, if you want to build a muscle, you've got to have mechanical tension. Not every single exercise needs to be super heavy weight for 6 to 8 repetitions, but if you're trying to build muscle, doing all of these high repetition exercises isn't gonna work. It might work maybe a little in the beginning, but you're not necessarily building muscle, you're just kind of firming up what's already there, right? And then as I started looking at her Instagram and her workouts and all of her photos, I mean, I just really started to kind of understand that this chick just happens to be genetically blessed with a big fat booty, or she has injections. Because if you watch this video right here, and there's multiple examples of this, like, her butt is jiggling the entire time she does every single exercise. If you have a solid booty, those muscles should be flexing. Like, when you do curls, does your bicep jiggle around the entire time? No, it stays placed because you're focusing on it. You have that mind-muscle connection. You're flexing it as you go up. And every exercise she does, I mean, obviously this is a leg curl, but still, even when doing a leg curl, you can flex your glute and curl your leg up to work your hamstrings and have those muscles try to work synergistically together, you know? And if I scroll through a bit more, a lot of the stuff she shows is your typical girl stuff. And girls are obsessed with, like, pulsing, right? It's almost like when girls are trying to find a booty workout and they see a girl with a really thick booty who's super skinny, they're like, "Oh my God, I gotta do what this girl is doing." A lot of the workouts are super lightweight, kickbacks, and then like supersetted with like squat pulses versus just overloading with weight to get the muscle built, right? So I was not impressed with Brie Baby, and after talking to this girl and her boyfriend about the workout she was doing, it was made very obvious to me why she wasn't seeing results and why she was feeling overtrained. Way too much volume when she could literally cut the amount of exercises in half. I mean, every day she's doing 4 exercises for her glutes, right? You can do 2 a day and have 2 workouts throughout the week. So maybe on day 1 you do heavy barbell glute bridges, followed by a kickback, I guess, if you want to. I'd rather you do a reverse lunge leaning forward to isolate your glutes more. And then on day 2, do some heavy hip thrusts. Like, at least get the heavy sets in. Doing this 12-week program, if you've never trained before, will you see results? Of course you're gonna see results. No matter what, if you've never trained before, any shitty program is gonna give you results. But is your butt gonna go from pancake to super booty? No, that's not gonna happen. A lot of that is genetics. Same thing with guys, like the pec sculptor. If you're not genetically blessed with a huge chest, you can improve what you've got, but there's no magic formula of exercises that's gonna make your chest huge. But unfortunately, a lot of women think that there is a formula for the butt, because a lot of these women, either like her, she's super skinny, and either she's genetically blessed with a big butt, or she does butt injections. A lot of these girls do butt injections. There was a huge scandal with Paige Hathaway, I believe, where she was doing butt injections or photoshopping her photos, and she was selling her booty program. Like, this is not uncommon. So you guys can take a look at her page. Again, constructive criticism only, but girls, if you're watching this, understand also too that camera angles in before and after photos make a huge difference. And we'll take this one right here, for example. Camera angle 1 is low facing up. Camera angle 2, higher facing down, more to the side, so the butt is starting to look bigger. Remember things like that, okay? And the third and final video we're gonna talk about today is this one right here, Natty or Not, the Truth, because obviously the truth is gonna be in this video, by Brandon Harding. So guys, listen, obviously when I first watched the video, I know in some parts of the video that he was trolling, obviously Max shooting.
Now, I mean, obviously, you gotta look at Max's physique. You need to closely analyze the quad to knee to calf ratio. Like,
is a natural athlete, okay? I understand that. And I wasn't even mad that he was saying things like Simone Panda is 100% natural his entire life because he's black.
I am not racist at all, but the guy, he's black. He has superior genetics.
I'm like, this kid is just really stupid, doesn't understand how steroids work. Can I say for sure Simone Panda is on steroids? No, I can't, and I don't want to get sued. But I can say I'm 99.9% sure that he is, and just because you work out for 20 years doesn't equal more muscle gain. We know what natural limits are. We've talked about them in previous videos. And then he talks about Steve Cook being 100% lifetime natural and how it'd be stupid if he said that he was, because people would lose respect for him.
Anyone that is an IFBB pro, 95% of these people are not going to be natural.
Actually, Steve did come out and say that he wasn't always natural and he didn't lose any respect because, unlike you, he doesn't base his whole career on the drugs that he takes to build the body that he built, all right? Because that's exactly what you're doing, whether you want to admit it or not. When you first started your channel, that's when I first heard about you. You weren't admitting that you were on steroids.
What's your opinion on anabolic steroids, and are you going to ever address the hate comments about you being a fake natural? Wow.
In this video, you say that if you do the exact thing that you did, that you're a piece of shit.
I do not understand in today's age why people feel the need to lie to their audience about whether they are natural or whether they are not.
So you basically called yourself one. Now, because people are coming out and they're being called real and they're getting lots of views for admitting their steroid cycle that they're doing, you decided to do that, and ever since then, every single video you've ever made where you mention steroid cycle or the drugs you're taking, those videos have the most views, and because you know those videos get the most views, that's why you make them, because views and likes equals money. So you're telling kids that you have this amazing life and you do all these cool things and you're building all this muscle. Granted, that one video all you did was complain for like 20 minutes about how terrible your steroid cycle is, and then you're like, oh, I hope you guys never do this, but watch me do it and get inspired to do it, because that's what exactly is going to happen.
I hope that, if anything, you can be convinced by this video to stay natural and to not do these things to your body, because this isn't me giving you the knowledge to go do it. This is me telling you to not do it because it is not fucking worth it.
In this video, you say, I think everybody should do steroids at least once.
Because I believe, as I know he believes, that, you know, we only have a short amount of time on this earth, and why not experience all the fruits that it has to offer? I'm not saying that you have to do literally every drug under the sun just because you only have one life and you should just do it all to experience it once. I'm not saying that. But the things that you are interested in knowing about and the feelings that you wonder what it's like to experience, I think that you should at least try it once.
To see what their max potential is, okay? Let me dissect that for a second for you, Brandon, because you're 22 years old, and you're still wet behind the ears, okay? Your audience clearly is young kids, right? Early teens, 20s, maybe mid-20s, okay? They watch your videos for inspiration. You work out hard. You built a pretty big physique, all right? They get inspired by it. When they see your videos, they see a dude who's doing a lot of the things they want to do. You have a house, you have a girlfriend, you're doing events, and you've built a lot of muscle. And then they see the solution to that. take steroids. Oh, Brandon's fine. Yeah, he bitches and complains a lot about how terrible he feels, but he hasn't stopped. So I guess there really are no risks to doing this. And that's exactly what you're preaching in this stupid Natty or Not video, The Truth, which has zero truth in it. And I don't even know why you put Christian Guzman in here, because the dude pays your bills.
Christian Guzman, 26, 6 foot and from the USA. I think that the guy is natural.
Even if he wasn't natural, you wouldn't say so. Why would you? He would cut you from Alphalete. And by the way, Christian, I think you should cut him from Alphalete, because as much as I rip on Gymshark, at least if they have athletes who are openly talking about the steroids they take, they cut them immediately.
I know for a fact that they dropped a good friend of mine, Mo Samuels, because of the videos that he was creating. They were very honest, they were a little bit vulgar. They included the odd conversation about recreational drugs and all that kind of thing, and they dropped him because he wasn't the perfect Gymshark athlete.
Because they don't want to promote that. So why you're putting your name behind somebody like this, I have no idea, because it's not real to do the things that he's doing. In fact, it's stupid. And to have all these impressionable kids, okay? Think about when you were 14, 15, 16 years old, right? Very impressionable, especially if you had a goal in mind. So if you look up to someone and they're doing steroids and they're showing you exactly how to do it, you think a kid's not gonna do that? Of course they are. And the main beef I have with this entire video, and the only reason why I'm talking about it right now, is because I left a comment. And on a scale of 1 to 10, I was about a 6 in how much of an asshole that I was, because I packed it mostly with facts. And Brandon, you're such a real dude that you immediately mocked it as spam, and in your response to me, you didn't address the things that I said, you just insulted me, which is fine. I expected to be insulted because I was kind of a dick myself. But you had nothing of value to say, and then you said that you just make videos about your life. Your subscribers can basically do whatever they want to do, okay? Whether you want to admit it or not, you have a platform that's public, you have a responsibility, and there are consequences to the things you do and say on that platform, all right? You might not know about it, you might not even never hear about it, but there could be kids that are looking up to you right now and do their first cycle, then they have erectile dysfunction the rest of their lives, and they can't even get their dick hard when they're 21 years old. Because that's the reality. You will never hear about the bad things that happen. Maybe when someone dies, like Dallas McCarver or Rich Piana, you guys will finally hear about the super terrible side effects that can happen when you take steroids, but there is no right way. Like, young guys, I talk to them all the time at trade shows, they ask about steroids. They're like, well, if you do it right, doesn't that mean you're gonna be okay? There's no way of knowing the right way to do it. Yeah, there's like the right way in terms of like how much you take and all of that, but you're never gonna know how your body reacts to it until you do it. And that is a huge risk. And that's why I preach staying natural. Now, do I care whether or not someone is on gear or not? No, I don't care. It's your decision. You can do whatever you want to do. But I don't think you should make videos and talk about it and make it seem like such a cool and easy thing to do with, yeah, maybe you feel kind of like crap, but look at all this muscle I'm building. Because that's the message that you're sending, Brandon. You're sending your community the message that it's okay to do what you do, even though you're telling them not to. And I think that's pathetic and it's bullshit. And I don't think you deserve any of the accolades that you're getting, because what you're really doing, you're not being real. You're just prying on the hopes and dreams of this generation that wants things quick, and they can see you and how fast you got it, and that's what they want too. That wraps up today's episode of Insta-Gahhhbage. And remember, if you want to be featured in a future episode, shoot me a DM, Scott Herman Fitness, and if you want a shout out, make sure you let me know in that DM, all right, guys? Videos like this series is gonna continue because there is a lot of garbage to sift through out there, and the faster we sift through it, we can recycle it, and we can take a look at things that maybe aren't so bad, and then we can take a look at things that are terrible, and hopefully be more well-informed and not make any decisions based off that terrible information. Hope you guys have a great day. Smash that like button, and as always, more good stuff coming soon. If you guys want to check out previous episodes of Insta-Gahhhbage, click this link over here. And for those of you who need a new workout plan, all you're going to do is click the link below, download my app Muscular Strength, and you can try any of my muscle building or fat loss programs for 7 days free with code MS7. I'll see you there.